It's Christie Taylor, and yes, it's Election Day, and we want Memphis to get out in a big way. And right now, to help us encourage you to go to the polls, we have a celebrity guest online, all the way from my birth city, Washington, D.C. It's actor Jeffrey Wright. Good afternoon.
How you doing, Christy? How you doing, Tennessee? Actually, I'm in Brooklyn right now. I was born in D.C., but I live in Brooklyn, New York, and that's where I'm calling from, actually from the streets of Brooklyn, because I'm driving in my car, having just finished voting myself. Took my little boy with me, 5 years old, so he could understand a little bit about the process, but that's where we're heading from right now.
Of course, you know, many people may say, who is Jeffrey Wright? And you might know him from stage, Bringing in the Noise. Also, if you have ever watched Shaft or Ali, or the latest movie that I love, Syriana. And he's also going to be in the upcoming Bond movie, Casino Royale. Am I right?
That's right. Opens next Friday, I believe, in a theater near you, as they say.
Oh, yeah, in a theater near you. And of course, you know, there is one particular performance that I really want to talk about today, with it being Election Day, is your portrayal of Dr. King in the HBO movie Boycott.
Well, it's a very special film for me. In fact, I mentioned that I was riding now with my son from voting. You might hear him coughing in the background. He's a little bit sick. But I met his mother, my wife, on that film. She played Coretta. And
that's right.
The rest for us is history. But it was a very important film, beyond the personal reasons, but obviously because of what the story represented. And it's a perfect film to speak about on Election Day because it was a film about the Montgomery bus boycott. And obviously Dr. King was at the helm of that movement, but the movement was driven by the folks of that community, by the people. And it was the people coming together to express their collective discontent through their collective power. And they affected change, historical change that all of us are the beneficiaries of. But in many ways, it's a reflection of what's possible through the vote as well, because, one individual vote in some instances has some impact. Some votes are very close. But as a collective, we have enormous power and enormous responsibility. And the only way we exercise that is through our vote in the American democratic process.
Now, oftentimes in this time, of course, the civil rights, we had people who were really fired up about making those changes. But today, oftentimes, even in Black America, find that we're now facing some apathy in the community about exercising our right to vote. What do you speak to on that?
I think it's not just a function of Black America. It's an ailment that all of America suffers from. The danger is to fall into the trap of apathy because in many ways, we kind of have this psychological barrier thinking that it's really ineffectual and that our vote won't really make a difference. And I think that's just the trap that folks who'd rather not have our influence in government and in politics would have us fall into. And I think it's a great danger as a collective, as I say. But when you look around and you look around at your community and the communities outside your community, and you think about what you stand to express through a collective vote, you have to be impressed with that. Have to, I think, reconvince you of the value of voting. I really encourage people to remember that, encourage people not to fall into the trap of thinking that it doesn't matter.
Well, all right. We heard it from our TV, theater, and film star, actor Jeffrey Wright. And of course, as we just give a shout out to all of Memphis, and Hallelujah FM is also heard around the world via the internet, what do you want to say on this Election Day to all of our listeners?
Memphis, plays a huge role in today's election, not only locally, but also nationally. Tennessee is a very critical state this term. And, I just want folks to get out there and make sure that they put somebody in office there who's going to represent them, going to represent not only Memphis, but is going to represent Eastern Tennessee, who's going to be an inclusive representative. And, there's also a historic possibility in Memphis today. I think it's a very exciting day in Memphis, and I wish I was down there to vote with you.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Jeffrey Wright, and God bless you on this day as well.
Well, I thank you for having me, Christy.